Episode 31. How y'all doing? How you feeling? I am here and it is Mercury direct. Yesterday Mercury went direct. So for those who are watching me and posting and stuff in regards to now just YouTube and TikTok because of the whole debacle with IG and Facebook, so I am no longer on there. More details to share on that as the time goes on, but I have been expressing that I'm not actually going to be posting about the retrogrades anymore because it does kind of incite a little bit of concern and anxiety and fear for some people. And I don't want to ever have anything on my channel that is going to kind of do that. So I will just be announcing when it's direct and mostly just on the lives and such. I'm not really going to be posting it and things like that. So Mercury, welcome, direct motion. So Wuso on that. If you have been feeling any of the stuff in the past 3 weeks, then it's definitely in relation to that. But you should feel the let up a little bit more these days. So yay on that. Lionsgate energy portal peak on the 8th and just the general energy pretty much up until today even, right? It's still kind of very potent. Usually they say July 26th till about August 12th, you'll still feel the potency of Lionsgate portal. Hope you're feeling that. Hope you're feeling the energy of abundance, infinite abundance coming your way. And that oftentimes things kind of take a dip. Sometimes things are a little bit like stressful and have a little bit more anxiety. And oftentimes that happens before a breakthrough. It's kind of like breakdowns that happen before breakthroughs and kind of also incite that, right? So don't be afraid of it. Don't feel this energy of, this is happening to me and why me and all of those things. Just stay in alignment with faith, with gratitude, with patience, and it'll all make sense. Eventually, timing is divine. And oftentimes we think that it's supposed to be our time and the way that we want things, right? But as I always express and as I really harped on last week, Spirit will always give us what we need. We may not always get what we want. And we have to be okay with that because that also is what's going to open up the portals for more of what it is that we actually need. And miracles, things that we cannot even think about asking for, can make their way to us. That is so much more in store than what we can ask for. So stay open, stay aligned. We'll be all right. All right. We'll be more than all right. Okay. So yesterday, Momentum Monday. I always share a daily declaration. Yesterday's was my intentions influence my identity. And that is really thinking about what it is that we're choosing to think and do and feel and say every single day. And ultimately, our intentions can be quote unquote good, can be quote unquote bad, whatever it may be. But ultimately, what it is that we choose to focus on, put our energy towards, how we choose to represent ourselves, how we choose to treat ourselves and people, all of that are our intentions. Our intentions are also about our manifestations, what it is that we're trying to bring into form and experience. All of that influences our identity. So ultimately, yes, the quote unquote good and the quote unquote bad or whatever, or even the neutral, all of that is indicative of the energy that we are representing and what it is that we're putting out and how it is shaping and forming our presence of being, our perception, our identity, our way, ultimately. So the main thing is to pay attention to your intentions, to how intentional you are in regards to the choices that you're making, because again, all of that is shaping the who you are, the what you are, and that who and the what is ultimately what mirrors out externally for the things that you, again, say that you want and the things that you need and whatever it may be. So just be particular in regards to who it is that you say you want to be and make sure that your intentions are matching that so that the alignment is there, that mirroring is there. Ashe? Cool. So we had our Aquarius full moon as well on the 9th, tapping into humanity, tapping into collective consciousness, tapping into the energy of community and coming together. We were in the garden and we had grounding session, but we also had our block party. So it was an interesting kind of juxtaposition, you know what I mean? Because we were there with an energy of grounding and meditative energy. We did a burning and stuff, because again, full moons are all about that releasing energy. But we had soca blasting literally on the block, right on the parallel side of the garden and stuff. So we were dancing in the garden too. It just worked out so perfectly. And it was a good vibe. It was a good vibe. So that was the vibe for that time in the garden. Next week, or this Saturday coming, we are going to be having a garden picnic. So if you're in Brooklyn, if you're in New York, and you're interested in bringing your blanket and your basket of goodies and just come to the garden and find a spot, come with your peeps, come with your family, come with your kids, whoever it is that you want to bring, come with your love, and just come and bring your stuff and find a spot and hang out with us. It's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be cool. It's going to be energetic. And we're going to just be grounding and vibing and enjoying picnic vibes in the garden. So come and hang with us. 2601 Tilden Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, East Flatbush. Garden picnic. You should come. Okay, you should come. We've got Black Moon energy on the 23rd of August. So there are different types of black moons when we think about it. In this case, when we talk about black moon, it's in alignment with the new moons, and it is the third out of 4 new moons that are in the same astrological season. So this is going to be our 3rd new moon. So black moon, again, we tap into the dark moon, new moon, because it's the moon that's invisible, that we're not able to see, unlike the full moon that is illuminated and super bright in the sky. So black moon energy on the 23rd of August happens every 33 months. So we also bring in the energy of the Trinity vibe, the power of 3. So very powerful for manifesting, and new moon's all about the seeds that we're planting, what it is that we're trying to bring in fresh and bring in new and restarts and new beginnings. So tap in for that. And we're going to be having some mugwort today and tapping into chevron amethyst. So mugwort is awesome for dreams, lucid dreaming in particular, great for relaxation. It's a great tea to have before bed for the relaxation aspect, and again, specifically for the dreamscape and lucid dreaming. Great for digestion, so it's also good to have after you eat to help you digest your food, so that when you're sleeping, your body is a little bit more still and not kind of still working through the digestion process, which is also why it's really good to eat at least 3 or so hours before you're ready to go to sleep, so that your body has time to kind of work through what it is that you ate before you are ready to sleep. Great for menstrual cycle regulation, and our chevron amethyst taps in as well to the dreamscape, to lucid dreaming, to calm, to relaxation. And I chose chevron amethyst versus like the regular straight purple amethyst because it has that kind of two-toned energy to chevron. And if you look at mugwort, it's also got a two-toned energy. So you've got your very deep green on one side, and then you have kind of a silvery, light, sagey kind of green on the other side. So you can see the contrast of colors there. So I am growing mugwort in the garden as well as in my yard space. So I have it all the time. I dry it as well, and I burn it because it's also good to burn, to also bring in, you know, the dreamscape, lucid dreaming, all of that, and burning before you go to sleep and all that good stuff. So hello, I'm seeing y'all on YouTube. Hi, Larry Lamar. I saw that. I read your comment. Thank you. Thank you. I believe you're not a weirdo, and that's cool. I will take that. Thank you so much. That's a compliment. I appreciate that. Hello, Rosa. Hi, Rosa. Hi. Say hi, Rosa, please. Hi, Rosa. I see you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Larry, for popping in again. I am definitely remembering you and your energy coming through. So it's always nice when people remember, you know, okay, Tuesday tea at 2, I'm gonna go hang out with Sabrina, you know what I'm saying? So that's really cool, and I appreciate you, and thank you for always coming with the sweet compliments and making me blush and stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's tap in. I give thanks to Baba Uzain, the Orisha of everything that is green and grows. I give thanks to you all for joining. Asheo. Tapping into our mugwort today. It's really hot in New York this week and today in particular. So I don't have the AC on. I don't usually like AC, but when it's like really hot, sometimes I have to, but it would have just been too loud for the live. So I am burning up right now. But I don't complain about the heat in the summertime. Winter is way too long to complain about the heat in the summertime. And considering the fact that we're already like mid-August and like summer's pretty much done, house way, I'm not gonna complain about the heat. I kind of hope it lasts as long as possible, to be honest. Go as far into the fall as you can, because it's also my garden time, you know what I mean? So I'm already kind of feeling the winter blues, which I try not to have, but I'm a summer girl. I'm an island gal. I love the heat, you know? But anyways, let's tap in to our universal law for this week. So for those who are here, if you can give me a stop top, just write it in the comments, or a stop bottom, whatever I see first, I will stop when I see the stop. And then if it's top, then I will choose the top card. And if it's bottom, then I will choose the bottom card. If a single card flies out while I'm shuffling, then that's the card we'll take. So that's the card we'll take, because we did get a single card. Are you ready for our universal law for this week? Master number 11, the law of emergent evolution. Make a new declaration for your life. Let us make a new declaration for our life. When we tapped into Lionsgate portal right the day before a full moon in Aquarius, and bringing in the energy of identity, and this is again tapping into yesterday's declaration for Momentum Monday of my intentions influence my identity, it is really a prime time to really decide this new you, especially going into Black Moon energy on the 23rd with new moon vibes. What is the new declaration for your life? Who is it that you name and claim, demand and command to be? Because ultimately it is up to you. I personally have been going through quite a shift in regards to my spiritual process. And it is because I am super disciplined when it comes to my practice. I wake up every morning, I have very specific prayers, I'm aligned with Ifa, so the Yoruba faith, and it's a system. It's a very scientific system in many ways as well, right? Strategic, and there's like such a method, and there's methodology to it all, to all of it. Through all of that, and it's been 4 years since I got my hand of Ifa, so since I've been a Petabi of Baba Ifa Orumila, and through the process, again, very, very diligent, very, very disciplined, very just on it. I wake up every morning and it's like sometimes it's an hour that I'm in my particular alignments, right? And then I do my altar work and I tap into my ancestors, and then, I tap into Jehuti and that alignment and Sekhmet, and there's all of this very, very specific thing that I do every morning that I have been doing religiously for the past 4 years. And I got through this Lionsgate alignment kind of a resurgence of, again, kind of reframing my identity and asking, and in some ways questioning, and not questioning faith or what I've been doing, but how I've been doing it. And thinking about the difference between what we're taught, what we're told, versus what we trust. And the trust aspect is really about trusting the self and recognizing that anything that we're taught and told is external. And when we go internally, that is where we find truth. That is where we find the trust, and where we are in many ways kind of faced with contradictions in regards to the told and the taught versus the trust and the truth. So when we think about it and we take that time to go inward, even with the contradictions, that's where we are tested in regards to our trusting our truth. So how, in this alignment, especially when we tap into making a new declaration for your life, are you acknowledging, appreciating as well what you have been taught and what you have been told, and then to now go inward and finding your own personal truth and trusting that, even when and especially when it contradicts what you have been told and what you have been taught. So that is what I'm personally navigating and going through and processing, and especially when I am as diligent and as methodical as I have been in regards to my spiritual practice, it has been challenging for me to not do it that way. But that way isn't necessarily my way. So Spirit just said, be still. I always say, if you don't know, the answer is no. So in any particular moment where you might feel like you have this sense of dilemma, there are no such things as dilemma, because if you don't know, the answer is no. Stop, be still, take a moment until you are sure. Until it's a yes, it's a no. And there's your answer ultimately. And oftentimes we do know the answer based on how it serves us. And the dilemma is more so in regards to how it's going to affect somebody else and our potential obligation to someone else. So just take the time to recognize and realize, do you really have this obligation to this other person over yourself ultimately? And then to recognize at that moment, do I actually have the answer to this potential question or this dilemma or this uncertainty or whatever it is? And more often than not, you know what to do. You always know what to do. So take time through that process. You know, again, for me, it's a challenging thing because I've been like, I'm a forever student. I always say that. Every time I say I'm not going back to school, I end up going back to school. So because of this very studious nature in me, I apply that to everything. I apply it to my career. I apply it to the clients that I work with. I apply it to my spiritual practice. I apply it in all of the realms of my life. So as a result, I'm studying and I'm learning. And again, that energy of being taught, I am like soaking it up, right? And then I learn it to the T, and then I want to practice it just right. And I don't want to forget, and I don't want to miss, and I don't want to get less than 100% on the test. And I'm just that kind of person, right? So because of that, that's where, again, I've started to kind of wonder, am I leaning too much more on that external because of what I'm so good at now, because of how well I've studied it, versus that self-study, versus that silence that is so important and so required really for us to get the expansion that we need and to really come into the evolution and the growth of ourselves. Because yes, when you're taught something and you're learning and you got it all down, that's just it. There is nothing more to it, right? Ultimately, if you're studying for a test, the questions on the test are the questions on the test. There is nothing more to it. So once you get 100% on that test, then what else is there? That's the information that you know. That's it. That's all. How do you grow from that? Where's the more in store in regards to that? And if you're not expanding yourself, and if you're not saying, okay, got the answers to that, got 100% on the test, now what? And opening yourself up to the more, that's where the question really is in terms of expanding yourself and being the more in store versus just hoping for it. We have to really push ourselves. We have to, challenge ourselves ultimately. And the challenge is, again, more so on trusting our own truth, taking that moment to be still, taking that moment to say, I don't really know right now, but I know that when I take the time to go inward, the answer is there. And once you find it, to not question yourself further, to be like, this is where I'm going to settle. This is where I am right now. And I'm going to take this time to trust in this new evolved truth that is more than what I have been taught, that is more than I have been told, that is more than I have studied and aced on this test. What's next? Only you know what's next. And ultimately, when we're taught and told, and that's coming externally, there is very much of a limitation in regards to that. But there's so much like expanded alignment and energy and possibility when we go inward and when we are asking source for the codes, for that alignment, for that truth, ultimately, that is not separated from who we are and from what we are. And it's only inward. Those answers are only in. They're not out. They're not on the test. They're not in the study guide. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is so much more. And the expansion that is available to us, the miracles that are available to us, are more so in regards to our DNA activations. And again, trusting in our own truth. So that's that. That's literally what this is. And when we talk about emergent evolution and we tap into the energy of the master number 11, it really is about that evolution, that expansion. So 222, right on time. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Ashe. And I make a new declaration for my life. Say it with me now. I make a new declaration for my life. I make a new declaration for my life. So I will put to you, as I am going to do for myself, what is the new declaration for your life? I want you to think about a phrase, decide what that is, come into the energy of I am. Think of it in the present tense, write it in the present tense, name it, claim it, demand it, command it. It's not something that you're hoping for in the future, I'm going or I will. No, it is what it is. What is that new declaration for your life? What are you calling over, speaking over, spelling over yourself? And script it out and write it out every morning. Tap into that energy every morning. Start your day with this new declaration, with this new identity, with this new intention that is influencing your identity. And be it, because you are. Ashe? Yay! Okay, so that's that. I'm going to be trying to get through these lives so much quicker because, again, I'm always aware of not just my time, but y'all time, especially for those who watch in the future and tap in a little bit later. You know, our attention span is like so minimal these days. So I also think about it in terms of when I rewatch it afterwards and kind of, do all the snippets and edits and stuff. And more so, it's also just kind of getting back and through all of the things on my to-do list and in my declaration over my life and the things that are just coming, so coming, so coming, so coming because of this internal refocus in regards to trusting my truth, even and especially more so than what I've been taught and what I've been told. So I hope that helps. I appreciate y'all. We're going to tap into our angel number. So if somebody gives me the time, then I will choose based on what I see in the comments. If not, then I will choose it myself. Hi, sister. I didn't see you until I scrolled down. Sister Tony Taylor. Mwah. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. 224. Thank you, sister. Right on time. I am Esh says, I know you smell good and yummy. Ha! Thank you. I'll take it. I will take it. 224. Fundamentals. Secure your life. As you think of what you are building in your life today, your angels guide you to think of something you've taken for granted. The foundational people, places, and opportunities in your life need your attention. Think of something you've overlooked in your life and give it your energy today. And this could just be you. This could be everything that we're talking about right now in regards to what you're told and what you're taught, and taking yourself and your truth and trusting your intuition for granted. That is the main thing in every day, ultimately, when we think about it, because when we are so tapped in to our personal truth, to our trusting of our own intuition, that's where there's no dilemma. That's where there's no question. That's when the answers come. That's when it's like, and also appreciating other people, because we're acknowledging, I see you, you see me, we're here. You know what I'm saying? So the fundamentals, securing your life. This is the energy here of the law of emergent evolution and this new declaration for your life. Gratitude is foundational, absolutely. Faith and patience, foundational as you go through this journey of life, and especially when you tap into stillness. You know, sometimes we're in this energy of meditating and people are a little bit reluctant to meditate because they think they have to do it again a certain way based on what's told, based on what's taught, right? There are no rules when it comes to this. Stillness is just that. It's literally just stopping in a moment and just being silent. And just, even if you're hearing things in the ambient, even if your mind is going a mile a minute, let it do what it do. Just choosing to be still is the action, is the work, is the intention. And it is absolutely going to influence your identity. And the more that you take that moment to be still and to go inward, the more you're going to be able to hear and listen and be obedient to self, to source, because there is no separation. And sometimes we're just too busy and too focused on other things. And again, the told and the taught, the external things, that we're not taking the time to just be still and to just sit and be silent, to receive, to hear, and to get what it is, what we're supposed to get. And it's not just about get in terms of the matter that matters. It's about the get. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get it, that's when you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to get it to get it. You got to get it to get it. All right? Okay. I love y'all. That's it. I will see you next Tuesday, unless I see you at the garden for our garden picnic on Saturday. So whichever, whatever. I appreciate you so much. And sending love to you all. And lest we forget, in the meantime and in between time, time to get back to natural. Peace.